This video is going to talk about circumference. Circumference has two formulas. C equals 2 pi r, where C is the circumference or the distance around the circle. 2 is the number 2. Pi is 3.14 or 22 over 7, and the radius is actually the distance halfway across a circle. The other formula, the more basic formula, is C equals pi times d, where C is the distance around the circle, kind of like the perimeter of a polygon, but on a circle we call it circumference. Pi is 3.14 or 22 over 7. Diameter is actually the distance across a circle and through the center. The reason that both of these formulas work is that two radii combine to make one diameter. So this, the 2 and the r, actually mean the same thing as d. So we're going to use both formulas, and we're going to start off with C equals 2 pi r. If we've been given a radius of 4 meters. So I'm going to rewrite the formula, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug in the numbers. 2 doesn't change because there's no sign in between here. I'm going to multiply. Pi, I'm going to use 3.14. R is the radius. I know the radius is 4, so I'm going to put in a 4. I'm going to solve using PEMDAS, which means I start at the left and I work my way across just the same way that I read. So the first thing I'm going to do is 2 times 3.14. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. There's 1, 2 numbers after the decimal, so I'm going to put 1, 2 numbers after the decimal in my answer. And now I'm left with 6.28 times 4. So now I'm going to solve that. 8 times 4 is 32. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 is 11. 6 times 4 is 24, plus the extra 1 is 25. 1, 2, 1, 2. So my final answer is 25.12 meters. Because this is a one direction, you don't put any kind of 2 or to the third power, you just keep it as meters. Now we're going to use the other formula. We're going to use C equals pi times d, when d equals 8 inches. For pi this time, we're going to use 22 over 7. For d, instead of putting d, we're going to put in the number 8. And remember, if there's no sign in between, it automatically means to multiply. If you remember, we can't multiply a fraction times a whole number, so we have to turn that whole number into a fraction. Easiest way to do that is to put it over 1. It doesn't change the meaning at all. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 22 times 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 8 times 2 plus 1 is 17. So I have 176 over 7 times 1 is 7. I can't leave my answer like that because that's an improper fraction. So I have to make the L and divide. 7 goes into 1, can't do that. 7 goes into 17 twice. 2 times 7 is 14. Carry down. 7 goes into 36. 7 goes into 36 5 times because 7 times 5 is 35. I'm left with a 1. We're too old for remainder, so we're going to take this one that's all the way at the bottom, move it all the way to the top, put it in the numerator. My denominator is the 7 over here. So my final answer is 25 1/7 of an inch.